Legend of Yufei Chapter 59.
Our source material kicks off right after Prince Wuzu gets completely hammered in battle. It paints a really bleak picture.
Oh, it's beyond bleak. The text is specific. Upolko suit 600,000 soldiers. Just gone. Down to maybe 5,000 or 6,000 survivors. Wuzu himself is devastated, ready to end it all.
And this is where the story gets a bit strange, almost mystical. He tries suicide twice, right?
He does. First, he apparently charges his horse at a stone cliff face, wanting to die. But then, the source says the wall just crumbles, lets him through.
Miraculously collapses, yeah.
Miraculously, right. And then, after his last few thousand men scramble over the top, the wall supposedly reforms itself. It seals off the path, trapping the rest of his army for Yufei's forces.
So from a storytelling angle, what's going on there? Is it fate? Divine intervention?
Well, you have to see it as the narrative setting things up.
Yeah.
It's telling us destiny isn't finished with Wuzu. Not because he's some great leader he just got crushed, but because he has a different role to play. He's the trigger for the real plot.
The political one.
Exactly.
Right.
He tries again, with his sword this time, weeping over his lost army. But his advisor, Hamichi, steps in. He says, basically, stop crying, start plotting revenge. But not military revenge.
And this is the moment everything pivots. They're defeated, hiding out in the woods, and then this bookish scholar type just appears. Seems to come out of nowhere.
Almost like a plot device himself, yeah. And he offers Wuzu the key. Not more troops, but strategy. Political strategy.
What does he tell him?
He lays out the blueprint for political warfare. He says, look, military power means nothing if the government you're fighting is rotten from the inside. And he uses this fantastic analogy.
The firewood one.
That's the one. Drazi's the guy who's good. No, he's in the real...
Yeah.
If you want to stop a pot boiling, forget adding more water to cool it down. The real solution. Take the firewood out from under the stove.
Wow. Cut off the source of heat, the political will, the supplies. Not just fight the flames. That implies the enemy, or at least this scholar, instantly knew the song's weak point wasn't on the battlefield.
Precisely. It was systemic. So yeah, we stop tracking troop movements now and start tracking, well, political sabotage. That's the real game changer here.
And the scholar connects it directly to Yufei.
Gets right to it. He says, and I'm paraphrasing slightly, with powerful, corrupt officials inside the court, how could a great general possibly succeed on the outside? Marshal Yu won't last long. Basically, stop fighting the general, start bribing the prime minister.
Oof. And Wuzu bites immediately.
Instantly. Takes the advice, writes a secret letter, seals it up in yellow wax, the famous wax pill, the one. It was a common way back then to send secret messages securely.
Like a historical version of encryption.
Sort of, yeah. Fiscal encryption. He gives this wax pill to Hamichi, his trusted advisor.
And Hamichi heads straight for the Song capital.
Straight to Lingen. Disguised, supposedly, as someone selling wax pills, a nice bit of cover. And the delivery is almost comically easy. He finds Prime Minister Qin Hui and his wife, Wang Shi, just chillin' by Westlake.
Relaxing while the war rages. Okay. And this is where the pre-existing treachery becomes undeniable, right?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Because Wang Shi, Qin Hui's wife, sees through Hamichi's disguise immediately. She recognizes the Golden Prince's advisor and points him out to her husband. It just confirms that the lines of communication were already wide open between the Song Prime Minister and the enemy leadership.
The rot was already there. The betrayal was just waiting for an opportunity.
And Wuzu's letter provides it. Qin Hui opens the wax pill, and the deal is laid bare. You murder Yufei, sabotage your own country's war effort, and we'll effectively split the kingdom with you. You get immense power.
A tempting offer, sure, but Qin Hui hesitates.
He does, briefly. But it's his wife, Wang Shi, who really pushes him. She's the one who seals the deal, who insists they have to do this.
Okay, this is fascinating. It's not just about greed or power politics now. It gets personal.
Deeply personal. It boils down to pure, terrified self-preservation for her. Her logic is all about paranoia.
What's she afraid of?
She argues, quite forcefully, that if Yufei actually wins, if he crushes the Golden Forces and manages to rescue the two previous Song emperors held captive, well, that would be disastrous for them.
Wait, disastrous how? Because he'd be a hero. Too powerful.
Partly that, but there's more. A victorious Yufei means a restored, legitimate imperial authority. And Wang Shi is terrified that this restored court will uncover a serious crime they committed in the past, something called the poisoned wine incident, the Ayuzi Shi.
Poisoned wine. So Yufei's success wasn't just politically inconvenient, it threatened to expose their past. possibly criminal actions. Treason seems almost secondary here.
That's how paranoia works, right? They believe one of Yufei's loyal generals, Niu Gao, knows the details of this old incident. If Yufei comes back a hero, Niu Gao will be untouchable and they'll be exposed. For Qin Hui and Wang Shi, getting rid of Yufei isn't just about power, it's about burying their past. Survival.
That is a chilling calculation. The threat from their own heroic general is seen as greater than the threat from the nation's enemies.
Precisely. So they don't just agree, they map out an immediate four-step plan. This isn't just panic, it's calculated sabotage.
Okay, what's the plan?
Step 1. Cut off Yufei's supplies, slow the flow of rations and fodder for the horses, starve his army out, basically.
Undermine him logistically. Smart.
Step 2. Publicly announce a new policy. Start talking about making peace. Seeking peace talks, Yehei. Make Yufei's campaign seem unnecessary, maybe even reckless.
Create political cover. And step 3.
Issue an imperial edict immediately. Recall Yufei from the front lines. Order him back to Zuxian town, ostensibly to rest. Pull him away from the brink of victory.
Get him off the field. And the final step.
Step 4. Once he's recalled and vulnerable, figure out a more permanent solution. Find another plot to kill Yufei and his son Yu Yun. Eliminate the threat completely.
Wow. Cold-blooded.
It's a complete takedown strategy. Hamishi rushes back to Wuzhou, confirms the plan is in motion, and the tiny remnant of the Golden Army just melts away. They retreat beyond the pass and wait for the internal politics to do their work.
The battle is over, but the political war is just starting.
Exactly. And now we shift perspective to Yufei's camp. He and his marshals, they have no idea about this secret deal. They're still geared up, ready to push forward, straight up to Huanglong Prefecture, Zigzhong Huanglong Fi for that final knockout blow.
But they're stalled.
They're stalled. Why?
Yeah.
Because suddenly, mysteriously, the supplies have dried up. No rations, no grass for the horses. It's the first direct effect of Qin Hui's plot taking hold.
They must have been incredibly frustrated, strategically paralyzed.
You can imagine. And then, right in the middle of this frustration, the bombshell arrives. The first imperial edict, delivered on one of those dreaded gold plaques, the Jinpai. Urgent, unignorable command.
And the command is?
Abandon the campaign. Pull the entire army back to Zuxian town. Rest, recuperate, stop.
Stop. On the verge of total victory. How did his commanders react?
Predictably, with outrage. His marshals, especially Han Shizong and Liu Qi, they see right through it. They know this isn't a sound military decision. It smells like court politics, like betrayal.
They must have argued against it.
Strongly. They bring up the old, established military principle. A general in the field is not always bound by his sovereign's commands. Jiang Zaiwai, Juming Yu Su Shubusho. Basically, when you're out there fighting and the situation demands action, you sometimes have to ignore orders from the capital, especially if you suspect they're misguided or, worse, treacherous.
Makes sense. Prioritize the mission, the safety of the state, over blind obedience to a potentially compromised ruler.
Their argument is, let's win first. Let's finish the job, retake the north, then deal with the political mess back home.
But Yufei, he doesn't agree. This is the core of his tragedy, isn't it? This choice.
It is. He has to choose between two kinds of loyalty. Loyalty to the goal, the restoration of the Song dynasty, or loyalty to the symbol, the emperor's direct command, however flawed it might be.
And he chooses the command. Why? What's his reasoning in the source?
He chooses absolute, unwavering obedience. And his justification goes right to his core identity. He tells his marshals his decision is rooted in the oath. His mother tattooed onto his back when he was younger. The 4 characters. Serve the country with utmost loyalty. We hear that phrase associated with him all the time, but the source connects it to a specific moment.
It wasn't just abstract patriotism. The narrative reminds us this happened after an earlier crisis point in his life. He faced a temptation, a moment where he might have compromised his principles. Maybe he made a deal with some local powers or bandit leaders. The text mentions Wang Zhu and Yang Mo.
Ah, so it was a test of loyalty back then, too. Exactly. A test of whether he'd choose pragmatic alliances or stick to the central authority, even if it seemed difficult or distant. His mother, seeing that potential wavering, literally inscribed absolute loyalty onto his skin. He internalized it completely. For him, loyalty meant obeying the emperor's command, period. Even if it meant sacrificing victory, even if it led to his own destruction.
So that tattoo wasn't just a symbol, it was a binding contract in his mind.
It defined his entire code of conduct. So faced with this edict, despite the pleas of his marshals, despite knowing victory was within reach, he orders the retreat. Immediately. All 13 divisions are pulled back to Zuxian town. He throws away the campaign.
Devastating. And does he sense the danger is personal now? That this recall isn't just about stopping the war?
Oh, absolutely. He's not naive. He knows this recall puts a target squarely on his back, and his next actions show an incredible, almost heartbreaking level of foresight and self-sacrifice. He knows he probably can't save himself, so he starts trying to save his most loyal followers.
How does he do that?
He starts pushing them away, forcing them out of the immediate danger zone around him. First, his own son, Yu Yun, and another key general, Zhang Xian. He sends them back home.
Under what pretext?
The excuse is plausible enough. Go home and train my younger brothers. We'll need skilled commanders in the future. But the reality is clear. He's getting his son and heir apparent out of Linen, away from Qianhui.
Protecting his family, his legacy. What about his close staff?
Then comes this really telling moment with Zhan Bao, his longtime attendant, basically his right-hand man. Yu Fei suddenly produces a blank commission, a Kontu Zafu. It's like a pre-signed promotion order where you just fill in the name and post.
A blank check for a high rank.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And he uses it to instantly appoint Zhang Bao to a significant military command, Zongbing of Heliang, far away from the capital, far away from...
Does Zhang Bao want to go?
No way. He resists fiercely. He wants to stay with the marshal, protect him. He knows what's coming. But Yu Fei insists. He tells him a man needs to make his own way, establish himself. He's essentially sacrificing his own personal guard to ensure their survival and future careers.
Pushing his protectors away for their own good. Wow. And then there's Wang Heng, another attendant.
Yes, and Yu Fei offers him the same kind of deal, a promotion away from danger. Wang Heng's reaction is even more dramatic. It really shows the despair and loyalty among Yu Fei's inner circle.
What does he say?
He flat out refuses. He says, according to the source, if you want me to leave you to become an official, I'd rather just kill myself right here in front of you.
Good grief. So his own men would rather die with him than leave him, even for a promotion. They knew.
They knew the recall wasn't a pause. It was the beginning of the end. The sense of isolation closing in around Yu Fei must have been immense.
And the final nail in the coffin of his support structure
comes almost immediately. A second edict arrives from the capital. This one confirms Yu Fei must stay put in Zuxian town, but it orders all his other marshals, all the senior generals who had argued against the retreat, to immediately return to their separate individual commands. Scatter.
Completely strips him of his peers, his support network, his fellow commanders, leaves him totally alone.
Isolated. The political strategy set in motion by that wax pill is executed perfectly. Yu Fei, he's at Zuxianzhen, peak success, troops ready, he's got this one goal. Solbei, sweep the north, take back lost lands. It's getting towards summer, maybe early autumn, campaign season. But back in the capital, Linen, the political wind is blowing the other way.
Completely the other way. Prime Minister Qin Hui is all about peace. Or, well, a truce with the Jin, which basically means Yu Fei's victories. They're suddenly inconvenient.
The tension must have been just incredible.
Oh, unbearable. He'd been winning, pushing the Jin back. And the story starts right when all that effort is being, actively undermined from within. Not by the enemy, but by his own side.
He's being forced to stop a war.
Yeah.
He was winning. Because of politics, miles away.
Precisely.
Okay, so let's unpack how they did it. The political maneuvering starts, and it sounds kind of benign. A formal imperial decree arrives, a shengzi.
Right.
Says, hey, peace talks worked. Great news. Come on back to the capital, Jinjing. We've got a promotion for you, a new post.
Sounds wonderful, doesn't it? Like a reward.
Yeah, but Yu Fei,
he
wasn't buying it, was he?
Not for a second. He's instantly suspicious. He knows the court. He believes it's full of treacherous officials, jiashen, as he calls them.
He thinks it's a trap.
He fears for his life, straight up. But, he can't just ignore an imperial decree. So his plan is, okay, I'll go. But I'll go alone. Leave the army here, ready.
Hoping he can still argue his case.
Exactly. Argue for continuing the Saobei, the northern campaign. Maybe achieve his ultimate goal, getting those 2 captured emperors back. It's a long shot, but it's his only play.
Okay, but here's where the pressure just ramps up incredibly. It's not just one decree, it's relentless.
Oh, it's way beyond relentless. This is where you get the famous gold plates, the Jinzi Pai. Imperial envoys start arriving, one after another.
And these aren't just letters. Gold plates mean emergency, right? Top priority.
Highest possible urgency, life and death stuff for the state. Sending 1 was serious. Sending 2. Almost unthinkable.
And Yu Fei gets
12. An unprecedented, frantic 12 successive gold plates demanding his immediate return.
12. Wow. I mean, just imagine that. Messenger after messenger. Each one basically saying, why are you still here?
It screams desperation. Whether it's the Emperor panicking or, more likely, Hurried needing him gone now before Yufei wins another battle or talks the Emperor out of peace.
And they made it clear, delay any longer, and you're defying the Emperor. Wani Shengzi.
Yeah. No wiggle room left. It's an administrative shutdown forced on him.
So he has to go. And the departure itself, it's described as heartbreaking.
It really is. He hands over the marshal seal to his deputies, Shi Quan and Niu Gao. And the people of Zuchinzen, they weep. They try to block his path, holding incense.
They knew. They saw the danger.
They absolutely did. They loved him, and they were trying to physically stop him from walking into this trap. But he promises them, I'll be back. He still believes or hopes.
He sets off with just a tiny escort, Wang Heng and 4 guards, leaving his army, his victory, behind.
Yeah. And that loyalty, that unwavering sense of duty, even when the signs are terrible, it's about to face even stranger tests.
Okay, so the journey begins.
Yeah.
He's heading towards Linan, the capital. But he gets held up at Guazhou. Why?
Strong winds on the Yangtze River. Can't cross. So he's stuck there, resting, probably processing those 12 gold plates, the whole nightmare.
And then he has a dream.
A really, really strange and troubling dream. This is where the story shifts, from political pressure to something more fateful.
Okay, lay it on us. What's in the dream?
Right, so first he sees this desolate, empty plain, just wasteland.
Okay.
Then there are 2 black dogs just squatting there, facing each other. And the text says they speak, they're talking.
Talking dogs. Got it. Weird. What else?
Nearby, there are 2 people, completely naked, just standing there.
Okay, talking dogs, naked people, desolate plain. Definitely unsettling.
And then it gets worse. Suddenly, a massive storm blows up on the river in the dream, and this huge monstrous thing comes out of the water.
What kind of monster?
Described as like a dragon, but not a dragon, and it attacks him. Directly attacks Yufei in the dream.
Yikes. Okay, so he wakes up from that. I imagine he's pretty shaken.
Profoundly disturbed. And this is important for you listening. Why does this dream matter so much? It's pure foreshadowing, yes, but it's also the breaking point.
It pushes him to seek answers.
Exactly. The political pressure was immense. But this dream, this feels different. He remembers a wise Buddhist monk he knows, Dao Yu, at Jinshan Temple nearby. He decides he needs to talk to him.
So he goes to the temple. Does the monk know why he's there?
It seems like it. When Yufei arrives, Dao Yu is already reciting this philosophical poem about the bitter sea of life, the Ku Hai Mang Mang.
Okay.
And the poem urges the listener to find the shore of turning back, the Hui Tu, and to avoid disaster. It's like he's saying, turn back now, Yufei, before it's too late.
Wow. So the monk doesn't even need to hear the dream.
Well, Yufei tells him the dream, and Dao Yu gives this incredibly detailed interpretation, links every single weird element to the danger Yufei is in. This is the big aha moment in the source.
Okay, break it down. The dogs.
The 2 dogs speaking, Yang Quanduyan, Dao Yu points out that if you combine the visual elements of 2 dogs and Sikimian, you get the character 2, which means prison, jail.
Whoa. Okay, that's direct. What about the naked people?
The 2 naked people, they signify that others will share his fate. He won't suffer alone. There will be fellow victims, Tongshu Kihuzi.
Grim. And the storm. The monster.
Clear signs, the monk says, wind and wave danger, Thumbo Zixian, which points to both literal danger on the journey, but more importantly, imminent harm from treacherous officials. Jianshin Lei Hai, the monster is the plot against him.
So the dream isn't random. It's a detailed warning. Prison, shared suffering, political attack.
Absolutely crystal clear. And Dao Yu doesn't stop there. He lays out the classic political wisdom. When the flying birds are gone, the good bow is stored away. Fin Yao Jin, Liang Gongking.
Meaning once the enemy is dealt with or peace is made, the successful general becomes disposable or even a threat.
Exactly. Your usefulness is over. Maybe you're too popular, too powerful. It's a tale as old as time. So Dao Yu gives him direct advice. Forget the capital. Disappear. Go hide out in the wilderness, Yunji Jiangkou. Save yourself.
It's a lifeline, a clear warning and a way out. But Yufei.
He refuses, flat out. This is the core of his tragedy, isn't it? Despite everything, the plates, the dream, the monk's interpretation, his loyalty is absolute.
What does he say?
He basically reaffirms his mission. Restoring the North, serving the state, he tells the monk, though I die, I have no regret. See Wuhan.
He chooses the mission over his own life, even with fate practically screaming at him.
Yeah.
Because it highlights that political reality, right? Success breeds jealousy, especially from the center.
Precisely. In the Song dynasty, like many places, a general getting too successful, too beloved by the troops and people that made the court nervous, it's a recurring pattern.
Okay, so Yu Fei rejects the advice to run. Is the monk done? Does he give up?
No, he makes one last desperate effort. He gives Yu Fei 2 prophetic poems, more like riddles, really, packed with warnings.
Okay, what's in the first one?
The first one is chillingly specific about the place of disaster. It says, the pavilion of wind and waves, waves surge high. Feng bo ting shang lang tao tao.
Feng Bo Ting, Pavilion of Wind and Waves. That's an actual place name.
Yes, a specific location. And the poem adds, beware those with evil intentions on the same boat. Jin bitong zu shang yi. A warning about betrayal from within his own small group.
Wow, okay, name the place, warn about betrayal. What about the second poem? You said it was more cryptic.
Much more. It's a riddle, and the source gives it exactly. Let me read the lines. Year's end deficiency. Sui di buzu. Beware heaven's weeping. Tifang tiangku. 2 dots under the character feng, feng xia liang yan, will poison and kill people. Jiang ran tudu. Old orange citrus moves around. Lao gan teng nuo. Pestering people, what can be done? Chun ren nahi.
Okay, that's dense. Does the monk explain that? Nope. He refuses, calls it heaven's secret, Tianji. Says it will be proven true later. Very mysterious.
But looking back, we can decode it, right? You mentioned the 2 dots under feng.
Yes, that's the key clue. A common literary trick. The character Feng. You put 2 dots beneath it, and you get the character
Qin.
Qingri, the prime minister. Exactly. The riddle names his nemesis, the one who will poison and kill people.
Incredible. And the old orange moving around, what's that about?
Analysis suggests Old Orange, or Lao Gan, was likely a derogatory nickname for Qin Hui, maybe referring to his cunning, slippery nature. Moves around, pestering people. It paints a picture of his manipulative influence.
So the riddle wasn't just vague doom, it was a targeted warning. Qin Hui is going to kill you at Feng Bo Ting, possibly with help from someone close.
The source lays it all out. He was warned about the who, the where, the how, in painstaking detail.
And despite all this, he still goes. But the warnings aren't just verbal anymore, are they? No, the danger immediately becomes physical. Almost the moment he leaves the temple, gets back on the boat to cross the river again, that storm hits. The wind and wave danger the monk warned about.
Oh, that's more than just a storm this time.
Oh, yeah. Another monster appears. This one's described as like a dragon without horns, like a fish without gills, some kind of bizarre venomous creature.
And what does it do?
It spits poisonous mist dew right at Yu Fei's boat. He actually has to grab his spear, the Liquian spear, and physically fight it off.
So the threat is real. It's immediate. It's not just prophecy anymore. It's attacking him on the river.
Exactly. The warnings have manifested. The danger is literally trying to kill him before he even reaches the capital.